Happy New Year's to you and yours, and I hope it's off to a great start for you. We got a pretty funny video for today, so thank you in advance for watching. Defining what DEI is in gaming has been a problem for a lot of people that dislike DEI in gaming for a long time. Is it performative stories at the expense of quality? Is it black people in a game? Is it women in a game? There are so many arbiters of what DEI is, like DEI Detected, a woke game curator list on Steam, which is wild, and a new one that I wanted to talk about today called DEI Watchdog. And it's an interesting attempt to quantify DEI and woke within a game. It has a bunch of games that are reviewed by users to measure how woke it is. Let's take a look at some games. Glad I could avoid slightly woke Earthworm Jim. Dustborn is the most reviewed game here. They must love that punishment. I wonder if all 7 reviewers actually played the game. I haven't. And in the making of this video, it shot up to 8 reviews. Let's take a look at what some of them say. I'd rather burn my money and I'll review the game I haven't played. Woke. These guys care more about Dustborn than anyone cared about Dustborn. Let's take a look at slightly based Red Dead Redemption 2 with a DEI rating of -1.7 out of 10. Thank goodness. I'm so glad it wasn't like 1.7 out of 10 or something. Let's take a look at some of the comments. This review from December of last year saying, Red Dead 2 was an amazing game through the first playthrough. All sorts of base story stuff with base masculine activities like hunting, racing, gambling. Nothing's more base than gambling. Fishing, providing and protecting the camp, train robberies, farming, ranching, cattle drives. All great fun, especially in the first playthrough. Very based. On the other hand, though, it does like to preach at any chance it gets. For example, in highlighting suffrage and how it would be a good thing. Is bro really complaining about suffrage? Didn't that happen in like the late 1800s? And then he goes in a rant about women being told it's more empowering and fulfilling to be an OnlyFans girl or work in the sex trade. What is he going on about, and how does this have anything to do with Red Dead Redemption 2? He says these preachy moments drag you out of the story. Arthur with those suffrage girls was actually pretty hilarious. The multiplayer gets a little more woke too, he says, with much more customization that's bending much of history. What is he talking about? The outfits? Players can choose to be male or female, but that was to be expected. So he didn't want women characters that didn't wear some kind of long dress or something? It's a wild comment. Let's go through and rate it ourselves. Well, how fun is the game? I had a blast with it. I thought the story was awesome. The visuals were great. Hey, I've played it a bunch of times. And yeah, it ran fine. Okay, the female characters, were they hot and sexy or covered and strong? And we got some additional definitions here. Attractive, feminine, eye candy, or were they covered up and had masculine traits? Well, it was a modest time in history for the most part, but they were all pretty attractive. We'll say, yeah. Male characters, were they strong, dominant, and masculine? Or emotional, supportive, or feminine? Because that's the only 2 buckets you can have to define a guy. Can't a guy be supportive? Some guys can be emotional. Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
I'm afraid.
Uh-oh, we might have to move that woke score up a little bit. He seems like he's a little bit emotional there. He needs to get a hold of himself. We'll say they were mainly manly men. They weren't soy boys. That gang was tough. Except for Arthur, though. What a cuck, right? Who saves the day? Well, our man, Arthur Morgan. But, you know, that troublemaker Sadie, she should have been home mourning Jakey, as opposed to running around with these outlaws. But, you know, Arthur did save the day. Who are the bad guys? Mainly dudes. But there was Catherine Braithwaite. I didn't like her very much. Classic plantation owner girl boss, am I right? What kind of relationships are featured? Traditional only or all orientations? Well, there is some gayness somewhere in there, isn't there? I mean, Bill was in the Navy, and, you know, we know the rumors, Bill. What political views does it promote? Oh, super woke. You know, incredibly woke. No, I don't know. I don't think there's too much wokeism about it. But let's leave our comments here. The game was great. Hell yeah, brother. The thing that made me uncomfortable uncomfortable was the undeniable sexual chemistry between Arthur and Charles. That made me feel a way I didn't like. Otherwise, the game is great. That's my total legitimate review for this. JK, or am I? I'm pretty sure my comment's gonna get censored. Although it's interesting to see other people's perspectives, this is all pretty reactionary and kind of funny. It's like a wannabe Metacritic, and the problem with Metacritic and game reviews is that it's full of people that actually didn't play the game that they are reviewing. So take it for what it is. You got a large range of people who hate anything that could be DEI related. That could include I just hate black people, all the way to I just want to make games better. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a like, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.